Hey, what's going on, everybody? So, I'm going to be going over Bitcoin here and Total3 and Bitfarms as well. We'll start off with Bitcoin. So, I have here the weekly chart, and we got a weekly green dot confirmed for last week with positive VWAP crossover, stochastic curving up, and money flow curving up just a bit as well. We also got a weekly closure above the 50% retracement, which is around 67.2K. Okay. We're still overall in the sideways consolidation. And if now that it's really been the same thing for the past weeks on Bitcoin higher time frame. So just jumping in on, we'll go straight to the daily. We got a daily red dot May 23rd. Okay. And we went and back tested the 50% retracement, got wicks under, but the most important thing are closures, and we got the closures above the 50% of this range. So that's a nice sign to see. Okay, 67.2K is going to be a crucial area to hold. Daily stochastic is still curving down, and money flow is very thin to the zero line, so to say. It's very close to going positive, but it's more just choppy. You can tell price action is still a bit choppy with VWAP and money flow how it is. Okay. If we turn on EMAs, the 21 is still pointed up. So overall, you can take the probabilities that upside is more likely, right? I believe so, but you know, things could change. Now, going to the 3-day really quick, I just want to pull this up again. The Bitcoin miner production cost. So it's now at 57K. For anybody that thinks, for any bears that think that sub 57K is going to happen, hate to break it to you, but it's likely not going to happen, my boy or girl. You can pull this up on your own chart just real quick. Like Bitcoin hardly ever goes under this, hardly. So best of luck to the people who say they want to buy sub 57K, 50K, 40Ks. Yeah, probably isn't happening for you. So just really quick, wanted to get on that because I haven't pulled that up in the past couple videos. Now going on to the 4-hour time frame, getting the nitty gritty of this. As I said, we need to hold the 50% retracement of this range at 67.2K. So far we are, but money flow in the 4-hour is coming out. We got red dot, stochastic is starting to curve. And what I noticed here earlier today is that Bitcoin was in a bit of a parallel channel, kind of like this. And it broke out. Now it's back testing it, but it's breaking back in right now. If we get closures back into this pattern, more likely than not, we will test, you know, the bottom side of this pattern. We can probably come to about 64K, something like that, right? So leaving this pattern on, that would bring us under the 50% retracement on this range. Okay, not the best look, but there's major support here. We're still in a macro uptrend and a bullish consolidation. So we'll pull up a Fibonacci. If we break back in this pattern, we're likely going to come down to the bottom side of this pattern. Funny, where's it at? Oh, the 50% retracement of this move up from the local bottom at 56.5K. Funny how that works, right? So we have a golden pocket of support between 66 and 66.5K. So that will act as support. We also have major support at 64.2K. And the last level that we really want to be holding is between 62K and 60K. Um, the bulls should really show up there if we get down to that. Altcoins will probably be good buys there as well. Altcoins are going to follow the Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance is still high. So, if we break back in this channel, there's a high likelihood we test the 50% retracement at 64.2K. And you will likely see a bunch of bears all over Twitter fudding, saying stupid shit like wicks get filled or something, and they'll basically be talking about this weekly wick down here, even though it did kind of get touched. If you go on a 3-day, or even there's a wick down there, but it got engulfed the next day, and then the uptrend started. So in the daily, that wick got filled. So that's just bears max scoping because they're fucking idiots. Or maybe I'm an idiot, so yeah. Basically, in my opinion, not financial advice. None of this is financial advice. I would be a buyer at the 50% retracer or 60K region, and bears can suck their own cocks like they have been the whole way up. So there's that. Okay, now going to Total3. Going to weekly. Okay. So Total3, not too bad. I really would have liked to see a weekly closure above the 0.786, but we didn't. But we did get a weekly closure above this tight ass consolidation here, between 661 and 641 billion. So that's not bad. We did get a confirmed weekly green dot, VWAP positive crossover, stochastic crossing, money flow pointed up slightly. So overall, not too shabby. 21 on the weekly, still acting as support and pointed up as well. So Total3 doesn't look bad at all. Overall, what is it? A macro uptrend. We got lows, a higher low, likely here, another higher low. With a high, a higher high, and what likely is to come is another high. Okay, and we can start testing the all-time high ranges again at around 1 trillion market cap for Total3. This is excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay, so strong altcoins like Render, Fetch, Pepe, With, things like this. Those are just examples off the top of my head. I don't own all those. Stuff like that will outperform, right, the majority of other altcoins. So going down on to the daily now, because again, it's really been the same shit the past weeks on higher time frames. Higher time frames take a while to play out. So we have here on the daily, a low. I guess if you want to count this wick a higher low here, but basically the bottom, I guess. A slightly higher low. And now, could this have been a higher low as here in this area? Hard to say. But what I would want to see is getting daily closures, consecutive daily closures above the 0.786 here with money flow crossover into the green and VWAP crossover positively. Okay, and not for market cipher momentum waves to make bearish divergences while price action continues up. If we can negate this high on market cipher B, momentum waves with positive VWAP crossover and money flow while price continues higher, that will be a very good sign that we're likely going to break these highs here at 788 billion and continue higher, and the next target would be around 1.086 trillion. Okay. Looking at the daily EMAs, we're holding the 21, the 50, 100, and 200. And they're all pointed up as well. A very good sign that the overall trend is still up and in the short term. Okay. And I could see here maybe a type of rising wedge for the bearish case. Something like that. But it's kind of rough. Just because you could also say there's a inverse head and shoulders here. And the neckline's around this 0.786 level. Interesting. Overall, just very choppy price action. The main thing I'm looking at is higher lows getting closer to above the 0.786 at 686 billion and money flow and VWAP positive crossover. That'll be a very good indication that we can continue higher. Okay, now going on to Bitfarms. This is a Bitcoin miner stock. We'll go to the weekly time frame. And yeah, it's a pretty messy chart here. Let me delete the fibs. So when we open up tomorrow now, I believe this weekly green dot should confirm with a positive weekly crossover on the VWAP. Money flow pointed up slightly with weekly stochastic pointed up now as well. And you also have a break of this pennant it has been in since, say, March 18th. So quite a while. It was a pretty strong downtrend. It's not really confirmed if it's broken or not. Okay, but this does not look bad. This is an engulfing weekly. Very nice look, okay, for a potential reversal back to the upside. Now, if we pull up Fibonacci's, we have resistance at $2.08. If this week we can get a weekly closure above $2.08, well, obviously the next target, sorry, burping. The next targets are going to be 0.382 at $2.43 and the 50% retracement at $2.72. Okay. And from that, we can pull up a shorter term fib and see what our targets are from our high of that wick to the low. So we're going to, the 50% retracement, we're going to have to confluence around $2.48. In order for that to get hit, we're going to have to break above $2.12. Okay. Now, I'm going to delete this fib and bring it back up. But the measured move of this pennant, it's pretty messy. Kind of just do it like this. Is going to be around $2.74. Again, 50% retracement area. Very heavy confluence. I'll delete that, make it clean. Going on to the daily. And we can pull up this Fibonacci. So overall in the daily, it's very possible that we can come back to the 0.382 at $1.75 for Bitfarms. I say that because you could potentially see an inverse head and shoulders type of thing play out right before continuing up. But this is also kind of like an altcoin. So if Bitcoin does get a short-term correction, this is going to have a bit more of a drop as well. So key level of support is going to be a golden pocket between $1.89 and $1.91. Also the 50% retracement at $1.82. But the thing, from what I've seen on assets, I guess, such as Bitfarms or small cap assets, very high volatile assets, you're likely going to come back to the 50% retracement or the 0.382 at $1.75 for Bitfarms. It's very possible to hit the 0.236 at $1.66 as well. So kind of just, if I make a zone, this would be a good buy zone between $1.83 and $1.66. That's a nice area of resistance. And if you're able to hold any of this area, and actually, before I do that, I'm going to make some resistance lines. Okay, real quick. Take off the Fibonacci. This area of support here, it's going to look ugly if we come back into it, right? But if we bounce from it, that's just another higher low. And especially if we break these highs, we make a high, retest, keep going, and the trend is reversed, starting a new uptrend. Okay, kind of like here. So we can come back down and chop for a little bit before continuing higher. In my opinion, not financial advice, if we do get back down in this area of support between $1.83 and $1.66, I will continue adding to my Bitfarm backs. Okay. Historically, miners do very well after the halving, and Bitfarms is a top Bitcoin miner with good growth potential as well. Markets are forward looking, so things could start to get priced in. Overall, I see Bitfarms continuing on the higher time frames to the upside. Key levels of resistance in the short term are going to be $2.12, $2.15, $2.40 to $2.50, and around $3.10. So with that being said, guys, thank you for watching. Bitcoin looks still bullish. Short term, there's likely going to be a little correction. People are going to get scared. Sentiment's going to change all over Twitter instantly like it always does. But I believe that dips are for buying. None of this is financial advice, and peace out.